Dr. Alice Benton here. I'm one of the co-hosts with New Life Live, and I want to talk with you about how you display your anger with your children. There is a difference between expressing anger and displaying it. And I would argue that we should express anger much more frequently than display our anger with our children, especially when they make mistakes. And I want us to consider Jesus' example in this. Jesus was probably angry with humanity every day, seeing the ways that we hurt each other, seeing the ways that we sin and fall short. He very rarely displayed his anger. One of the few examples was when he confronted the merchants that were in the temple that were disrespecting his father's house and misusing his father's house for their own gains. It seemed as if Jesus chose very carefully when to display his anger. Most of the time, whether or not he was angry, he kept a very calm, responsive attitude. He ramped it up when he needed to, right there in the temple. And I want us parents to take this example and use it with our children. So by that I mean, when my children make mistakes, I will frequently tell them, I'm upset, I'm disappointed with what you chose, I'm frustrated with what you're doing. But I speak it in a pretty calm and low tone of voice. And I do that very purposefully because I see that they receive my correction from them. They receive my correction of them much better when I'm calm and when my voice is when I'm calm and my voice has a low volume. But there are times, and I choose them carefully, when I allow my anger to be on display with my children, but I save it depending on the magnitude of the infraction. So when I see my children purposefully hurt each other or purposefully hurt me, I choose in those moments to use a louder tone of voice to display my anger in my facial features and in the volume of my voice. But it is quite infrequent that I decide to take it to that level. So, as you evaluate yourself and the way you use your anger in your relationships, I want you to consider, is your anger within your control? Does it sound outlandish that I decide when to display my anger? I actually think we should all be able to get to the point of being able to turn our anger up or to turn it down. We should be able to decide when we display it. If that idea sounds strange to you, you may have some of your own character work to do to be able to control your anger and to use it appropriately, especially with your children. And notice that when you display your anger, it has a much different effect on them than when you speak calmly with them. So feel free to call us here at 1-800-NEW-LIFE because God calls all of us to be able to use our anger appropriately. It is a tool that can be used, but also not to sin in our anger. And the way that we apply it with our children either helps them to grow in character or it can stunt their character growth. So give us a call here at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We'd love to be able to help you with this.